I was asked last night, good morning, if I was sick. You know what? When you believe you are, you are. When you believe you're not, you're not. I do have some ailments. Hurts here, hurts here. But the guy next door, it hurts here. The guy below me, I know it hurts here because I hear him screaming all the time. Something must be wrong. Why does he have to scream? You just can't keep it inside and try and learn and understand. Let me tell you something about screaming. I've been into the effect where I've been between waking up in the middle of the night and not knowing if I'm here or there. No matter what I do, I feel like I'm being crushed inside my mind. So am I sick? Well, I'm on these pills, and if you don't take the pills, you feel really sick after 4 days. But is it because we're washing the pills out and bipolar is a monetary thing? And the only reason a lot of people stay in it is either A, they can't figure out how to get out of it in their head, and B, is they're all alone. Being alone, being bipolar, and depression, and the reason I say it is because they say it's manic depressive, they go together, and of course it's going to go together. You're going to go high with no control. So then you're going to go low, because if you couldn't control the high, how can you control the low? And the self-confidence that we don't have, or most of us, that's going to even cause you to go even deeper because you're confused. You don't know what to believe, and you don't want to listen to anybody, and really whoever you ask really doesn't know any more than you. So although he's not feeling the sickness of depression, you are. And now it's time to know better. Don Adams, I'm not going to take down your picture, but I will talk about this. Again, he puts up Nibiru. And Nibiru in numbers is a whole game. Why is it a game? Because there's a complete game in this entire world. And it starts with today, tomorrow, and every other day, and every month. There's 9 planets. 1 sun. The number of the sun, S-U-N in numbers, equals 54. Rubik's Cube equals 54. We have Venus, N-U-S, that's the sun. We have Uranus, and that's not close enough to your ass. I don't know what is. So Uranus is another sun. Plus we have the sun. Now we see 3 suns. The thing now we're going to get to is, hey man, we got 9 planets, 7 with the letter U. We got 7 days in the week. Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. All with the letter U inside of it. Except for Monday and Friday. Monday, thank God it's Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. So what do I come on here and do? I compare. So I get down to Nibiru. I lost my other page. And the numbers that show up are 200, which is a 10 by 2 world, 200 bicentennial. How do you want to look at it? There's 5 numbers. We're going to keep 20 plus the 0 on this side. Then we're going to go 0, 49. It stays the same. 4 by 9 is 36 creation. 4 plus 9 is 13, makes 49 again. That 9 makes everything eternal, not the 4. The 4 covers the 4 corners to make that creation. It's 9 by 4 is the furthest away, or it's 6 by 6. 7 by 7 equals to the 49. 7 world and 7 world, 7 points for a touchdown. 6, 1, and 3 points for the field goal. Do we go 200, or do we go 2 times 0 is 15? Times 15 equals 225. Now it's not a 200 bicentennial, but it is an egg. Add an egg, and every single box of the tic-tac-toe will give you a multiple total of 225, or if you want to play with percentages, it's half of a 45-degree angle. Half of that 45-degree angle going into the center of this star, you would multiply it by the 8, which gives you the 360 degrees. ELC, the 5th letter, the 12th letter, 512 memory. The C says creation world. A 512 equals to 1536. Now 15 is the egg, 36 is the creation. Now I have to go back and explain it to you. Things just connect. It becomes 512 creation mobile. M and B, MB in your computer, 512, EL or L means her. Who is her? Is that our partaken that owns this corner of the globe, is God a female? Well, if he's playing the male spirit, then he has to become a female after, does he not? It's all a game, don't forget. It's just a game, and it's all with numbers, and all the numbers will always come back and tell you a finite story, because when you add them up, the answers are finite until you extend the theory, and then it becomes a finite extended theory. Mark that up in the star. Where's my star? Is my star up in the sky? Oh, I hope so. Hold on a second. My mind is still working. I guess it is. My computer's still on, so there's a very good chance. Wait a second, my YouTube is still working. Also, there's a definitely good chance they're still letting me on, so they haven't thrown out this star. Don't forget there's interchangeable stars, and one of the changes you can make is when you take that little stick and plug it into your computer, it's now on the stick and in the star. And if you want to see it off the stick, you just plug it back in. You don't have to be on the star anymore because you've taken your star and you put it in your pocket. Now you got a good memory. So we get to Nibiru. Letter U. In the center it says buy. What do we want to buy? Buy means two ways, two sides, more than one way. So, something simple like that. So we did the sun, we did the planets, the letter U. We did the week. 5 out of 7 days have the letter U. Just Monday and Friday. Day 1, day 5 of the week equaling 6, or day 2 and 5 of the week equaling to 7. Don't forget, in the Mug and Dovet star, when you're in the center, it's number 7. When you're in the octagon and you're in the center, it's number 5. What's the difference between the two? The amount of points on the stars. These stars go over each other and over each other and over each other, creating the system that we live in. And this is not me saying this. I went and I go look at the Mayan Sanskrit. The Mayan Sanskrit shows you these pylons all around, but some of the pylons are missing the bottom. What does that mean? It means there's something over the top of it, blocking it. The other thing about the Mayan Sanskrit, it's got a little arm like this, which shows you that things on top are turning around, sliding over, but it'd be sliding over this way. Where else am I on Nibiru? N-I, Ni, Nay, B, buy, I buy. If you read it backwards, it says I buy. Your buy-in. Your buy-in. Reverse this backwards. Or reverse the R to the U. Go rue, which means street in French, which means street is buy-in. What does it mean, buy-in? For me, what it might mean buy-in, and I have to put something on it. I can change it anytime I want, and I'm allowed to be wrong with what I think I understand, because whoever's watching this might be right. Someone might give me the right road to go down to. See, anyways, we're going to get back to Nibiru again. And then it said he had a number. Is it around here somewhere? No, but online it also showed ISS, the number of Nibiru. But S and S is 38 as a letter count, and 9 is 47. That's the number for the name John. Reverse 74, it's for Jesus. At the same time, that 74, if you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Now the last time reconnects the alphabet. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. The center mark will total 74. 7 by 4 is 28 days of February, and 7 plus 4 is 11. Spirit angel of man. 7 cannot be made on a dice unless you take 2 dice, so therefore you can't have the 4. But don't forget, in this world, there's an invisible dice. Only because you're living, you're automatically those numbers and do not have to be counted for the same way we don't pronounce G and H. Now, I'm going to break this down. Where do I get to with all this? Every name, every word will create a number. Every number means something. If you take a number and you go to the elements and you look that number up in the elements, it's going to tell you something. If you get another number that's mixed with your number, there's a good chance those two elements mix together. Don't forget, when you're creating, you take one of this and one of that, and one of this and one of that. It's this and that. You put this and that together, and you make what it is. Hey, look at it. Look what I made. Look at it. IT. IT is Rubik's Cube. I is the 9th letter. T is the 20th. 20 by 9 is 180 degrees. The 20th letter T plus I says IT for it. Number 29 is it. When you have two ITs, you have two its. Now you start to create a new road. Anyways, let's jump off that. I'm always jumping off course. So at the end, we end up with R and 47. The same time, the whole word Nibiru in simple formation in the letter count is 64 for the whole word. So if you say Nibiru and Runibai, means Runibai in French would say a street close by. When you do them both and add them together, reusing this a second time, comes out to 60 and 40 is 100, 4 and 7 is 11, equaling to 111, which is 3 by 37 is 111, or the 74 plus 37 equals 111. The Twin Towers, the roof of the Twin Towers. You see, they tell us 110. So now we get all confused. How do we get to 110? Well, there's many ways to get to 110. 2 Rubik's Cube, 1 roof, 1 in between, 1 floor, 2 Rubik's Cube, 54 and 54, 108, plus the roof, plus the center, plus the floor. You have a total, because don't forget, when you're building, you're always adding on at a certain point for reasons of structural stability. I don't have to know everything. All I have to know is just enough. Even the highway system. Highway 70, Highway 35, totals 105. It means the word poker. It means communication with the moon. And at the same time, it's Kansas City. The Great Lakes are up by Chicago, Illinois, Wisconsin, and into Canada near, where is it? I'm not sure where in Canada. Pretty funny, eh? And through the Great Lakes, I say there's a cap up there where the outside world comes in. The winds come in, or it's where they built their matrix. Don't forget, all you need is electricity, press a couple of buttons, and the wind blows. How do I know? Because I've seen how they practice for parachuting. The wind blows. They can make the wind. They can cause the electricity because they already do it. Oh, you don't think we're anything to do with electric? So when you walk on the carpet and it gives you an electric shock, it means nothing. It just happened by chance. You don't think the water inside of us, the fire water, you know what they say in Numbers? They say the water is rusty. I'm not sure what that means. It can mean a lot of things. Don't forget, everything is a code. We were given this because we were going to learn it. This is the way it works in this world. Do you think it doesn't work? I have a cup with a cover. If I shake this cup and hold the cover, nothing's coming out. I guess the cover's good. Or we'll just throw out all the covers and make holes in the bottom of the cups. So everything will just leak out. Weakest link? Like I said in my first video, if it had to come to baseball, then I say the Arab would be first. The Jew would be last, of course. Why? Because last is being fourth. And fourth, you get 2 chances to come up to the plate. If the first 3 go out in front of you, that's 3 outs. Part of creation ends at 3, bringing up the new team. Why am I on to that? Let's just transfer over. We're going to go back to Nibiru. They also put ISS, like I said, which was 47. ISS, 38 plus 9, 47. 47 for the ISS. I made a mistake over here. This was 39. 47 plus 64 is the 111. If you add the J for the 10 world, the construction, the block that it is, it goes to 121. What is 7, 10, and 13? Okay, 7, 10, 13, you're growing a space. The 10 makes a square. The 13 will make a square. They're all going to make squares. Now you shrink them. You don't have to be as high as you are wide. When you go around the world, it's longer than going north and south. Nibiru, the ISS, again, if you really take a look at it, SIS is a cis. If you look, it says system, SI, psi of relief, a word in the Greek alphabet, assist, something that's a growth, that's on you. Stem, it's a stem, an extension to a satellite, just like the moon's system. How all of a sudden is everything online, and then a couple of planets come in offline? Oh yeah, these planets, they know 80,000 years ago. Okay, the only reason they can possibly know 80,000 years ago, because it's probably a couple of hundred years ago. They probably did the same numerology that I did, except they're in a certain area, people are listening to them, they still don't understand NASA. Well, then again, they still don't understand me, but that's okay, because I have a lot of time. I'm not looking to end this thing tomorrow. I'm looking for this to go the rest of my lifetime. But if it ends tomorrow, well, then I'll be doing something else. Nibiru, system, syst and tem. September! Oh, I guess that's a system too, right? Because September says scepter. September in French says 7. 7 in the 9th month, 7 by 9 is 63. That's pretty funny, 63 moons on Jupiter. Just coincidences. Also, one of the words, I'm not sure if it's 11 or 12, those two words, one of them adds up to 63 for the 63 moons. Reverse 63 to 36, it's 99. 27, the age of death. 27, the number for red. 27 is also a participant in the rust of the water we live. The silver stream, the silver matrix. Silver and matrix both equal to the number of letter count of 85. Reverse, it means 1 and 2. So I can tell you this 1 and 2, and there's so many things, and I'm on 20 minutes, and I only wanted to be here 2 minutes. This Nibiru thing, if you take a look at it, I'm going to change subjects and go to this. When you have 215, you have 2 eggs equaling to 30. The letters you get is Abe, 512 memory. Add up 10 in the 10 world, you have the letter V and E. It means life, or if you really want, you put the 7 over here. 5 and 7 is for the egg. You'll end up with the Vega card. 235, or 2 times 35 equals 70, plus the 35 is exactly Kansas City. It says we. 23rd letter is W, 5th letter is Z. 245, the 45-degree angle, which brings you from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock, which is the difference between going from the east to west coast, only 3 hours. 2 by 45 is the 90, and that equals to the birth. 90, which is 9 times 0, 0 equaling 15, equals to 135. That brings you from the top corner of one side down 3 levels of Rubik's Cube into number 9. If you do the same thing on 2 sides, because it's a split world, we come into here, but we're built. Don't forget. What do you think? We just come here and we grow like that? We grow out of the system. The air we breathe is part of the system. I guess it's part of growth, no? So where are we with this? We were at this, we were at this. I have to turn this thing around and look. So we had 215, 225, 235, 245. Then I would go 255, and I'd be at 3 o'clock, basically. So this one says Abe, this one says life, this one says we, and this one says exit. Why exit? The 24th letter is an X. 5 by 4 is 20, letter T. 5 and 4 is 9, letter I. It says exit. We exit. Life of we exit. Abe Lincoln, the electricity, because I'm a welder. Abe, we, the life, we exit. Could be saying, here's the life we enter, because everything is by 2. 90 and 70 is 160, and 50 is 210, and 30 is 240. 240 hours in a 10-day period of 6 days, 1 day, and 3 days, scoring a football. It just goes on, my friends. I mean, I have written down the numbers from 1 to 36. But 36, it's not 36. It's the end. 30 is 30, 6 is 6, but it all starts off when 30 was a 3. Once that 0 comes to it, it's now 36. You follow me? I lost myself. Sometimes happens that I lose myself. Wow. Did I also, okay, so over here, if you take a look at it, to me it's a short for electricity. ELC says her creation is 512. Who is she? Who is the part that built the 512? Because this number ends up going up to 4,096. 40 for the game, for the 96 minutes we live. Of the 96 hours we actually live. 4 days. 4 by 24 is 96. That's what it shows. It only shows 4 days. But I know, okay, I know if we are living 6 days, 6 times 24 is 144. In the 10 world is 1440 or 1440 minutes in 1 day. So are they talking about 4 days or 1 day? 36 or 360 is 1 time around. In my Mr. Tacpan's number, I have 72. That must mean 2 times around. Plus 7 by 2 is 14. 7 plus 2 is 9. Totals 23. Now, add it this way. 7286. 8 and 6 is 14. And 7 and 2 is 9. Again, we have 23. The numbers repeat themselves inside themselves, if you want me to go over that again. Inside Nibiru, the N and the I to start off is number 23. 23 right away refers to 99 or 66. How do we do this? The 10 world, everything that's all in single digits. Just add a number to the single digit, that'll equal 10. If it's a 6, you add a 4. If it's a 4, you add a 6. Wow. Reverse that. You got 110 stories on the Twin Towers. All the single numbers add up to the 10 Twin Towers. 1 and 9 is 10. 2 and 8 is 10. 3 and 7 is 10. 4 and 6 is 10. So if you go 2 and 8 and 4 and 6, they're both 10, 10. 10 times 10 is 100. They cross each other on a plus sign. So that would say 10 and 10 is 20 into the 20 worlds. But the 1, 9 and the 3, 7, that's made like an X. Now you multiply the 10. 10 by 10 is 100. Plus 10 to add back the number you started with, because you had to get there to start with. You didn't start nowhere to get to 10. You started somewhere. So it took 10 to get to 10. So 10 times 10 is 100 plus 10. It's the top floor of the Twin Towers. 10 times 10 times 10, because we work off of 3 numbers, because the first 2 numbers, if it was change in your pocket, it would remain change in your pocket. But on the 3rd number, we know you got $1. Don't forget, there's 41 cents in change, a quarter, a dime, a nickel, and a penny. If we take that and multiply the 41 cents by the square center, which is 5, but if you put it on the outside, it'll be 5 and 5 makes 10. You put it back to the center, it's 5. So there's 4 of them. Well, there's always 4. Then there's 8. Then there's 16. That's the way it works. So where were we right now? 5 by 5 is 25. By 5 is 125. That's May 5th. By another 5 is 625. Times the change in your pocket, 41 cents, is 25,625 of the Mayan calendar count, which adds up to 25625. The center, because of this one here and this corner over here, 1 and 3, the 2 is in the center. So the 2 grabs onto these sides and comes down here to the 5 hole. 1 and 3 into the 5 hole make 9. 2 comes into the 5 hole itself before anything happens, because it's also on the 2nd level. 2 and 5 is 7. Or 2 times 5 is 10. 10 and 7 is 17, and in blackjack, you say stop or stand, but no one's standing. Well, the next time I play blackjack, when I don't want a card, I'm just going to stand up. And the dealer's going to look at me and says, what are you doing? Well, I'm standing. 22 in blackjack is bust, but it's to get into this world. You know why? Because once you pass 20 and you don't get 21, you're not on the corner. You're not on Kentucky, which is 21 from go, or counting go, you'd be on free parking. F&P, 6 and 16. 6 and 16, F&P, free parking, equals 22 bust. The next roll you bust means you come into life. Now you're running down the street of Waterworks and Marvin Gardens and Ventnor. Watch out for the yellow, but at Indianapolis, you're cruising. In Kentucky, you're riding the horses. In Indiana, well, All it tells me is the Indians that are in between the horses and the racetrack. Why are they in between the horses and the racetrack? Because that's why Custer and everybody else had to take out those Indians. They were all over the place. All down all the rivers. Down the St. Lawrence River, all the rivers. They took up all the best places. They had to get rid of them. They had all the best homes. How can we make a river move backwards if there's a bunch of Indians watching it? What do I think about the waterworks system? I believe in Europe. If you take a good look at Europe, you can see how all the water that are in rivers is controlled, almost like they created that river. Almost like, not that they created the river from now, but from hundreds of years ago. When we were empty and no one was here, no one would know. Hey, what are you doing? How can anybody know? The other thing I was going to show you is two-letter G's. In Hebrew, it would look like the pay. I made it this way. In Hebrew, there's two numbers on a dreidel that turns around, or there's a point at the bottom of the dreidel, and at the top is a little handle to spin it. So what I was going to do is this. They're two-letter G's. The letter G finishes like this. They also go across, but I'm not going to go across. You see the little triangle? These doors can open up. These can open up. This will open this way. This can open this way. This can flip open, and something can pour down. You can look at it a lot of ways. But if you look at two letters I'm just talking about now, just jumping off the subject like usual, pay none, two letters in Hebrew. For me, I see it as pay none. Don't pay anybody. Here's what the none looks like. To me, it looks like a C. Here's what the pay looks like. Pay looks like 9? Of course. That's your paycheck, my friends. Paycheck is 9. 9 repeats every number. So that's your paycheck, and you want it repeated. So you have C3 and 9. Number 3 and 9. 3 by 3 is the 9. And voila. There you go. It's a very, very complicated system. There's also ways to calculate 90 seconds times 60 is 5,400. 90, was it 96 seconds? Wow, I don't have the number on me. Well, I wish I did. Wow, there's just so much. Angles in French. You know how they say an angle in French? An elle, which means her in English. An aile in French also means a wing. When you have two wings, you can fly. They have two legs to land. Now, I heard there's something going on in Detroit, and that's part of one of my discoveries also, is the original 6 hockey teams create the letter of Resh, number 18 in Hebrew, the number everybody seems to want to chase, because Resh in the center of everything is what Rubik's Cube, roulette, the chakras, what everything is all about. It's all about in the center and extending out. Where was I? I don't remember where I was. To me, this is the chakras. Okay? It's a pig. But so is Abraham, a pig. A-B-E, Abe. 512 memory, Ham. There's other things. Number 57 is the moon, M-O-O-N. Moon, moo. Is that a joke? The moo, the cow jumped over the moon? Why and how did he get over the moon? And what actually is the moon in this scenario? Skip, jump onto something else. There's just Nibiru, the ELC, the numbers, all created numbers. Why couldn't they call Nibiru something else? Because with the name of Nibiru, I can find a lot of stuff. It's even with pi, the mathematical of pi, there is a lot of stuff I can tell you right from the beginning. It tells a story right at the beginning. They all tell a story. So again, what am I trying to do, somebody would say. I'm trying to make a train, let's say, pieces of puzzles that are just being pulled one behind the other, and all of a sudden I take number 49 and I move it over here. But wait a second, I also need 49 over there. So I put it over there. It's I'm like you. I'm confused. Hey, Ron, I didn't expect anybody to understand you if you're confused. Somehow, some way, I'm going to go slower and do one square at a time. The number system, 1 and 6, let's say. Okay? So let's make it easy. 1 and 6, the numerological value of 1 is 34. The numerological value of 6 is 52. Heart, 52. 52 cards in the deck regardless of the jokers. 52 weeks in a year regardless of the 2-week vacation pay you get. Whether you take it or you don't. They shove it on you anyways. They make you get 54. 9 by 6 is 54 Rubik's Cube. 52 and 52, or 54 and 54 is 108. We're back to the Twin Towers again. That antenna was a no-no. I think that antenna made everything come down. They're playing a game. It's a game. There's a game here, that's us. There's a game here, it's your child. There's a game here, it's the business you go to. There's a game here that surrounds you, which is the government. And then the game over the government of the people who installed us here in different parts. Just like Avatar. They brought the ships in that floated in the sky. Is this a gravitational pull that's normal on this earth? Maybe it is. Maybe this is where we came because God knew how it was. Now again, here I go with God again. I hate to use that name, but there's someone superior up there, whether he's good or bad. I'm going to call him God because he can do what he wants. And I think that's what a God does, right? He does what the hell he wants. But apparently there's two kinds of gods. One that's evil and one that's good. And the correctional God. The correctional center of Buddha. The correctional center of Allah. Because the letters of Allah and Buddha all repeat different numbers in my work that tell me stories about those numbers. And since these numbers go in, it'll tell me a story about them. But because I have two of the same numbers, but I don't have the same word, the letters will tell me another story regardless of the numerological value of these numbers. And just to say, do I think time is ending? Only two queens, you don't see the body, only the head. Isn't that what 666 is all about? On the left is 4, on the right is 6. In between the middle is 5. The average is 5. But if you put one spirit to the whole average, and don't forget the center is controlled by he who divides the two sides. If I take 5 of the center and add 1, I end up with 666. Oh, and there's many other ways. 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 66 is 396. 3 times 96 is 288. 288 is one spirit of 76. Or 288 days times 5 by 5 by 5, which is the 5th of May, or the 1/4 of our mind, equals to the 360 degrees. That means our mind makes up 72 of 360, is 1/5. And the 5 card makes up that 1/5, and there's one dot in the center. That dot in the center counts for above and below. When you have the 5 card and you're counting above and below, it's 4 above and 4 below. That's 8. Put it in the center as 8? No. 1 and 3 goes into the center as 2. 1 and 3 goes into the center as 2. The 5 card becomes 4. Plus the 5 center, 5 and 4 is 9. Now you have 4, 5, and 9. 4 and 5 equals to 9. You have D, E, and I. DEI, Opus Dei, DEI. 4, 5, 9 is 18, which is Reish, which was created this way. So you put, DEI, and now you put the R because it's the total. Now you have REID, which is read, or reading railroad, or read a book. REID is also for somebody's name. But REI, just the E and I, well, now we have to move that over. E is the 5th, I is the 9th. Do that twice, like an Einstein they have it. It says EI, EI, O. Because the totality of everything, you circle it and it's all inside. That's why when you're a young kid in school, they circle things. They circle things for what? To remind themselves or something? Volkswagen. They have the O around the VW. It says vow. If you flip it upside down, okay, Or if you just repeat it, W-O-W, it's wow. What does the W do? I'm all over. I'm all over. All over. 2 G's. If I continue this, I'll end up inside a uterus somewhere with a cord. Pull out that cord. Is it an apple? 2 letter G's put together create the apple. Here's the outside of the apple. Here's the inside. They come together, create the core, and little leaves come out the other end. Look at this card. Look at this card. Look at this card. These are 3 different cards I have. And let me see if I can get any other cards. Come on, give me a card. Give me a good card. I did this. I did this. I did this card. Oh, here it is. Here's the one with the bicycle. I'm going to put these 3 cards down. Can you see them so far? Look at this one. See how far apart they are? In the middle card, they're bicycling and they're working as 2. On this card over here, if you take a look in the center, there's 4 pulls, 4 hearts. This is basically what Jean Ray was talking about, the 4. That it turns around and the only time it sees out when it sees up. See this card over here? It's separated. There's nothing in the band. It's now freewheeling. Which one are we going to? Are we going into this world? Because this is the world. 1 up, 1 down. See the way their hair was connected together? Now they're in charge, the queen. Now is it an evil queen or a good queen? The queen is the 12th card in the deck. 1 and 2 is 3. I can go all over the place with this. The 4 times 3 is 12, letter L. 5 times 3 is 15, letter O. 6 times 3, which is the Federation, 4, 5, and 6. 6 times 3 is 18, the letter R. L-O-R says gold in English. It also can be used to say hour. Now if we keep on going down, the 7 times 3 is 21. Now we have the U. L-O-R, or L-O means low, and R-U is street. We're in the low street. And this is not the first time I saw it. I made up a number system from 0 to 9. In fact, it was 0 to 10. No idea what I was doing. This is before I even got sick. And these numbers are starting to come up and being of service to me. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to read some poetry a little bit later that I wrote. I've been writing poetry for about 30 years now. Then it came into whatever I can do, I'm going to do. It's my life. I want to share. Why do I want to share? Isn't that a question somebody asked me yesterday? Why do I want to share? Why do I want to share? I feel better if I share? I'm being greedy if I share because I need that information and help from other people. So I need to share in order to get that help. But share means to go all the way. So that means if I would make $1 million, that's not a lot of money. What would I do with the million? I'd probably end up going downtown in my own city and passing out a few bucks here and a few bucks there. I know no matter what I would give anybody, within 6 hours and less, they would have nothing left. And they'd still be in the street and still have nothing, their own personal choice. What can I do? Raphael, 7286, in the constellation of Pegasus. We're going to just show 1 or 2 pictures. And one of the pictures I'm going to show is that one over there. We're living in the center. 500 years each makes 4,000 years. Then you have the green and red like you do in darts. And that counts for the balanced number of years. What else do I have? Oh, let the eagles fly. See that board? Where's that board over here? Where's that board? Chinese, it says peace. See the peace birds below looking out? And part of my floor. And part of my wall. Okay. Raphael, 7286. On the constellation of Pegasus, and bless all those human beings on earth, and bless everybody on earth
that one day we can wake up and have more of an understanding. As you can see the wall, it says truth. And that's all we want, because truth releases the bad energies and brings us on to a new level where we can start to learn what love is all about. And that's what it's all about. Raphael 7286. If you see the other side of the room, there's two tubes over there. They're all decorated. I'll try and bring it on and show it to you sometime. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that somebody wasted 40 minutes of their time to try and learn something that will be crucial in life.
Wait a second. How can we end it and make a statement like that? How do I know what's going to be crucial to anybody else? That's why whatever I do, it's like watching TV. You look at it, if you learn something, fine. Unedited stuff, I get on here and I just do it the way it is. It is what it is. I don't want to harm anybody. I definitely don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I do know that I am hurting. I'm hurting for sure. Why do I say that? Well, when you've made 1,500 videos and about 100 of them would not upload, for what reason? My best videos never uploaded. Usually, they should all upload, right? Another thing about these videos is at one point during my videos, by the time I ended my videos, I would have 6, 7, 8 views on my videos. After that, no views at all. So I made one announcement during my videos. I said, hey, who's watching me while I'm making my videos? All of a sudden, within 5 minutes after I finished the video, my video had no views. And it's never come back again. Now I say we can bring it to the end. See the wheel in the center? The circle in the center. Circles that are connected together. Railroad tracks, you see the angles they're on? It's this way or that way. You cannot go straight down and run into the diamond. That's why you have the screw. That's why we end up with the whirlwinds in Kansas City. Highway Total 105 means the game of poker. There's many other ways to get to it. I connect to the Mediterranean. I connect to the Baltic. Although Monopoly doesn't say certain things, there's 25 different Monopoly games out there with different names on it. So I interchange them. And now somebody would say, well, you're actually cutting yourself short by breaking them up because there's too many meanings. No, I bring all the meanings back to one area. It's how I see it and think before anything else. Because whatever I see and think has already been thought of. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been played. I have to figure out what everybody else did in order to get it there. With dice, it's easy. You want a 6 and 5? Take the dice, flip them over, put it on 6 and 5, and there you go. I don't play the game by throwing the dice. I throw the dice in here, and I take a choice of what I want to do. These videos are way too long. No one's going to get to this point. And how could they get to the point? I have 1,500 videos. Because I must create a star system. And these videos are part of the system. They're my memory. Someone's going to come on and ask me a question, and it's only because I made the video. So I guess it wasn't a bad choice. Oh yeah, I used up an hour of my time. That's what I chose to do. And I'm not looking for any compensation in the immediate time, because compensation usually only comes at the end. When a goaltender plays a whole season and he's paid $200,000, but he plays like a $10 million goaltender, it's next year that he gets paid, not this year. You have to pay it forward like everybody else, and that's the way it works in sports. Thank you.